G'day everyone, it's just a follow-up video of the last video I did about identifying fake chips on eBay. This is kind of a bit of a development for me, I suppose you could say. I've seen footage of the of massive warehouses with people pulling chips in China, pulling chips off scrapped boards, and I think the actual video was called a fake. I don't know, some sort of fake chip operation in China, and I found that interesting that actually removed chips, go to the effort of removing chips from boards to fake them. I mean, why don't you just buy a cheap, you know, like a 4558 or some other really cheap chip and just resurface them new? They would look, it's like, you know, in massive bulk like they need. It would only cost like about, I don't know, 10 or 15 cents each. And it would save a lot of time. I don't think that's what's actually happening. I think they're actually salvaging the chips off the boards, and I think that's what I had in the last video. They were salvaged. So, like I said, it's kind of a development for me. I'm working through this as I go, and I know a lot more than when I started. I can tell you that. But it's hard to tell what's going. We're at the end of the chain. It's hard to tell what's happened with the chips in a different country. And trying to work out what's actually happened. So I got some more chips in the mail today, and they're MN3007s, and I tested them. I want to get because last video I didn't test them. I had a couple of comments, people say you should have tested them, so we knew. So in this one we do know. They all work except for one. I think the one that doesn't work is actually just faulty because it looks pretty much the same as the others. I'll show you those in a moment. But let's first listen to the chip. I'll show you a quick sound sample of the chip. I just recorded it before, so I'll play it now. Okay, so here is the salvaged MN3005 from eBay. Just giving you a quick demo to show you that it actually does work. It's chorusing. It sounds subtle because it's on a long. The rate is up full, so it's a slow swell. So as you can hear, sounds like any chorus I've ever heard. It's working. They all work. They all sound pretty much the same. They all sound exactly the same. And here's what the chips look like. The one down the bottom is a dead one, and the one up the top here. Actually, if this camera's going to focus, see, I don't know if you can see in the video, but the etching looks different on this one than it does on the others, and there's those sorts of characteristics, minor differences. I had a couple of dirty ones, like I did with the TDA in the last video, but they all work. So perhaps they're salvaged. Like I was saying before, I'm not. I don't think anymore that these operations are pulling these chips and then resurfacing them and selling them for what they're not. I think they're just salvaging them, which is not a bad thing. I mean, you can't buy these chips anymore; they're obsolete. So it's good that that is actually happening, assuming all the working conditions for the workers are good. But that's a whole different topic. Let's just focus on the chips. At least we can get them. So the signs of the solder on the legs and the sand marks and sanding and all that sort of stuff, it's not always a sure sign that the chip is not going to work. You don't know the history of the chip before it shows up. And in my testing and what I've done, I've tested many chips, and I can tell you that there's more of this salvage stuff coming in. Some of it's fake. I've had fakes before, and they look a lot. Sometimes they look like salvage, and sometimes they look like new. In fact, I think I've had, from memory, more that look new than salvaged. So they've just got, like I said before, a cheap chip like an RC4558 or whatever is cheaper than that. I'm sure there's more chips that are even cheaper, and they've just take the top off, re-etched it, out the door. That would be the quickest way to fake, and probably the least expensive as well. So not necessarily a bad thing when you get a chip that's got solder on the legs. It would be good if these eBay sellers would actually put on there that they're not new, because those TDA 7052As were listed as brand new. They're not brand new. I showed you in the last video. They're not brand new. So that's where it sits at the moment. Like I said, this is kind of like a video blog. That's all this channel has ever been, just where I am at a particular time in my electronics journey and pedal journey. It's just where I am at the particular time. These two have been recent uploads. This will be up in about 3 or 4 days time. Some of them are from the past that I've queued up, but this one is up-to-date information as I'm working through it. So I hope it helped. And again, if you've got any interesting information or helpful information, please leave it below in the comments to help others out. You know, things to look out for, interesting reading resources or links to videos or whatever. Your opinion on the whole thing is always appreciated. I always read the comments, don't always respond, but I always read the comments. So whatever you write there, I will read. I sometimes respond if I feel like I have something of value to input. But yeah, just leave whatever you want to say down the bottom. And thanks for watching this video. And I will be uploading more stuff. Thanks for watching.